CMD, go on CMD.
Oh, I don't know what's going on with here, Jay.
Well, whole city are gonna come down.
I'm gonna go back up. You see the
So,
But unfortunate for them.
is off the start.
He's gonna spin back at him, boy! Away into turn one, great
No, I'm dragging him along a bit.
Where's the wood that thing? Yeah, slide. I didn't even do it.
All right. Good evening, everyone. This is a bit of a strange scenario as we've got a couple of technical problems, but that will not get in the way of any amazing racing as we see the first cars coming out of the pit lane. That is Paul Likowski, Hubert, Paul I'm going to be honest, I can't say these long names, so I'm not even going to pretend. So Hubert is out on a lap at the moment, and I apologise if I said the name wrong or whatever, but the first car out on the circuit. It's the McLaren going around the Bahrain International Circuit, where we are here for round 9, I believe, of F1. Well, I think it's round 9 at least. No other cars are out on the out on the circuit at the moment, and we look to see down there at turn 10. That's Hubert going through. And down the back straight now as try and rejoin the lobby, as we've had a couple of technical issues. As yeah, so a couple of other cars also coming out. So we've got Martin also out, KD's also come out, Davis has also come out, Smith is also out, and Corcume is also out on an outlap at the moment. They'll be cruising about as Hubert comes around to the final corner to start their lap. And through the last corner they go, and down the start finish straight they will come, and across the timing line to start their lap. And they're already out there on the racing line, as it's the quickest way around the circuit is down towards turn 1. He hopes he's not got any traffic meeting him on the exit turn 1. It looks like there isn't, and he goes through turn 1 down through third gear. Now be rising up through the gears as he heads up the hill towards turn 4. Now DRS active for him as he makes his way down towards turn 4 now, getting wide on that curb there and perfectly just coming across there, not getting too far out wide like we've seen problems in the past. Purple sector 1, as he's the only car who has gone through sector 1 at the moment, and into turn 8, and makes his way through and up towards turn 10 now. The turn 9 and 10 complex. This has proved tricky for many drivers in real life and in the game as well, but it looks like Hubert has actually nailed that. And as we see, there is a Williams ahead of him who could prove to be a slipstream effect or a bit of a dirtier effect. I think it's a bit far back for a slipstream. That is either Corcume or Hutton who's ahead of him. As Hubert heads up the hill, up towards turn 13 now. The McLaren driver, new to the championship, of course, and out through turn 13, down the long back straight now where there should be DRS, but there isn't because someone thought that would be a good idea. And into the final corner he goes, out through the last corner. Someone's already gone faster than him in the first sector, and Paul Linsky comes across the line and goes fastest. However, he's the only car who's set the time, so that is the time that they'll be aiming to beat. As we see, there's Davis on the lap at the moment. He's got a green sector 1. What's his sector 2 looking like as he comes through turn 11 up towards turn 12? He'll be crossing the sector line about now. And he's put on a green sector 2. That's very, very impressive from Davis. Of course, the AlphaTauris have been the quickest cars out there on the track and in this championship so far through. And as Davis comes around the final corner, what sort of lap is he going to put in? He's going to go faster than the previous car that's crossed the line, and he does go faster by a whole 5 hundredths or tenths, sorry. That is, as he cools down and makes his way back around. And there's Martin coming around the final corner. Is he going to go faster than his teammate? And he crosses the line, and he doesn't go faster. A couple of tenths down on his teammate. So apologise for this brief awkward silence. You'll just have to sort of make your own commentaries. I've been trying. No, never mind. Just won't bother. Jack has gone fastest overall as he sets a time faster than Davis. He's set in, I don't know what time he's set in, but he's set in a time as we see cars slowing down in sector 1. As Jack, a 1:28.2. So that's quicker than Davis by a whole 2 tenths. And Boss putting in a lap time. So we're seeing the lap times coming through here. There's a bit of traffic there for Jack, but he's on his cooldown lap. I don't think it's going to play too much of an effect on him. As I see that is Kozlowski in the Aston Martin, making his way up through turn 11 and through turn 12. A bit of traffic on the inside, very close to one another, but he gets it going again. And Kozlowski going strong in the past couple of races, and can he carry over that form into Bahrain as he makes his way down towards the final corner, turn 15, the penultimate corner on the circuit, and through the braking zone, flowing through the corner and out over the exit curve, across the line, foot to the floor for Kozlowski, and he goes 9th fastest. And that is not the quickest time we've seen, but it's not the slowest time we've seen. It's a medium range time, I think you could say, as we see Stuart's giving out a warning. There's Valoro in the Alfa Romeo. He's just come out of the pit lane, I believe, and he'll be desperate to set in a quick time early on in the session as they make their way up towards turn 4. And, I apologise again, I'm going to go silent for a little bit, so you're just going to have to make your own commentary. I'm just trying to sort out a little technical issue. No, never mind. I apologise for that brief moment of silence. Just trying to sort out something. And whilst we look on here in qualifying, as Valoro crosses the line, he's set. Well, no, he hasn't set a time. Sorry. Anyway, as we come into this race, the championship standings, I believe, is Jack. He leads the championship by 123 points. James Davis in the AlphaTauri is second in the championship with 106 points. Fowler is third, 77 points. Hutton in the Williams is fourth with 69 points. Nice. Martin is fifth in the championship. However, being the man who has had arguably the most poles this year. I think he's had the most poles. He hasn't converted them into many race results. He only has 47 points, down in 5th place. Mano trails him by 7 points, has 40 points. He's in 6th place. Luigi Sven has 32 points, and he is in 7th in the standings. Oliver Jeans in the McLaren, 32 points in the standings. Cade has 28 points. He's 9th in the standings. And rounding out the top 10 is Jacob Kozlowski with 27 points. Sorry about this. Sorry. Back to the qualifying session. That's Luigi Sven there in the Mercedes. I'll stop reading out the championship standings, but I'll continue to go. Jacob Kozlowski is 10th in the championship with 27 points. Will Harwood is 11th in the Alfa Romeo with 25 points. Harry Harrison, 18 points. He's 12th in the championship. Sinez is 18th as well here. They are tied for 12th in the championship there. And we have the final 2 cars in the championship with Paul Lizlikowski. I really hope I am saying that correctly, otherwise I'm butchering everything. Is last with 8th in the championship. No, he's 2nd to last, 15th in the championship with 8 points. And there we go. Now I'm in the session properly. With 8 points in the championship. He's tied with his teammate Liam Hunt, who is last in the championship with also 8 points. Okay, right. Okay, right. We can finally get this stream underway because now I'm in the lobby and I now have a different screen to read off of. So only 11 cars have set their laps. So I don't know if that's track invalidations or what, but we're seeing with 6 minutes to go, not many cars have set times. Well, only about half the field-ish have set times. As we see yellow flags being waved in the 3rd sector of the racetrack, and that quickly gets cleared, as I think that's just traffic, as Luigi Sven comes down towards the final corner. He is on a hot lap in his Mercedes. What time can he put in now as he comes around the final corner up to the line? What is it going to be for Sven? He goes 10th fastest, above Kozlowski and in between Korkum. That's a decent lap from Luigi, and there's Davis down there in 2nd place, and Paul Linskowski in 3rd place in the Haas. He is doing quite well for his first race in the championship, and I must say we did get Paul Linsky a bit confused with Zotic. That would be Amerigo. I hope I said that correctly. But Jack putting in even a faster lap time. So Jack puts in a fastest time. And I've got to just apologise for the timing graphic errors, because Kozlowski puts it 6th fastest in the Aston Martin. That's a very impressive time from him with 2 purple sectors. So the time's just constantly changing up and down the field. However, we see 2 cars will not set times with Face and Smithy, who have gone out of the session. You can see they are greyed out in the bottom there. They're just below Boss, who is the final car who has set a lap. Sorry. As you see, Kozlowski making his way down towards turn 8 now. And I believe he's on a cooldown lap. But someone who isn't on a cooldown lap, I believe, is Jack, who looks to be wringing that Red Bull by the neck around this circuit now as he makes his way up the hill. And he's got 2 fastest sector 2s there, you can see. Now, 128.1 is his best time, but I think he may be on another lap now. He's the man who leads the championship and leads the way here in Bahrain as he makes his way down towards the final corner. He'll be laid enough on the brakes. And I believe across the line he'll come. No, he's going straight into pit lane. He's quite quick on the outlap. He had me in the first half, as a wise man once said. But we move on. He's into the pit lane and quite quick on an in lap. So that is surprising. So most cars in the pits, now all the cars in the pits apart from Jeans, who is the only car out on the circuit, and also I believe Mano and High Caliber, otherwise known as Veloro, are out on the lap. So Mano, well, it says he is, sorry. So Mano 17th and Veloro 16th. They have not set laps. As you see there, that is Amerigo in the McLaren, or Zotic, as he's better known in the league, coming out of the pit lane. It says Paul Likowski on your screen, but it is Amerigo, I think it's said. Hopefully someone could correct me later on and then make me feel like a total idiot after the session is over. But at the moment, it's a qualifying session, and we see the McLaren is the only car out there, as Veloro has put in a lap time. He has just gone up to 13th place at 129.5, as we see everyone now coming out of the pit lane now, as we have multiple cars making their way out. And a lot of cars in the pit lane coming out on the lap, as now, so the timer graphic has fixed itself. With 2 minutes to go in the qualifying session, everyone is now going to be desperate to get their last few laps in. As you see, Amerigo making his way down the back straight towards turn 11, weaving up his tyres, just wants to warm them up before he starts his lap. And it'll probably be his final lap, unless he puts in a lap of golds. I think he's only going to get 1 lap in, as he makes his way through turn 12 and up towards 13. The fast uphill section can prove difficult. The circuit is always one that challenges drivers and punishes mistakes heavily. Now, we're not talking about Monaco levels of punishment, but it does mean you're going off the track and losing a few places, as Amerigo makes his way down towards the final corner. Davis now through turn 8. He has just started a lap. Oh no, he's on an outlap, sorry. And there is that introvert guy, otherwise known as driver 88, as Amerigo crosses the line down towards turn 1 now. So it'll be his final lap. There's only 15 seconds to go down towards turn 1 in the McLaren, and through turn 2 up the hill towards turn 3. He'll rise through the gears. The DRS will open, the rear flap opens, and the rear wing flows with air down towards turn 4. He'll be laid enough on the brakes and trying to get it out just wide enough, but so it doesn't invalidate your lap, but he gets the most time possible. Now through this little wiggly bit down here, the S's, or the sole S bend, and down towards the hairpin of turn 8. It's not a good lap, it's not a good sector 1, but he can improve through sectors 2 and 3, down towards turn 10. Catches drivers out all the while there, the bump on entry, but he looks like he has sorted it, and he is through turn 8 and through turn 9 and 10. As now towards turn 11, Amerigo wringing the neck of the McLaren there, very, very loose, and he spun it. He spins it around, and I thought it was very loose on exit of turn 11, and the car behind Corkum may get impeded with the yellow flags, but that is it. Oh, Corkum spun as well on his final lap as well, so turn 11 proving to be the difficult spot for drivers as they spin out there. As the cars, they're trying to carry as much speed as they can through that corner, and it just doesn't pay out, and they just spin around, and it's so frustrating, because they could have done something special with those lap times. But as we see there's Hunt crossing the line. What can Hunt do in the Haas? He stays 8th. Now that'll be his, at best, his best finishing position. And Jack won't get another lap in. Hutton goes up to P3 in the Williams. It goes up to third position. And now what can the introvert guy do, or driver 88 as he is seen on your screen, down towards the final corner of the racetrack in the Haas car. He crosses the line. Sven goes 8th fastest. Hunt drops out to 9th fastest. What can that introvert guy do? He goes up to P3, replaces Hutton's lap time, so Hunt down to P4. And who is improving? Davis brings it up to pole position. Davis with an unexpected lap by only a couple of tenths on the board, puts it on pole. And Martin, P3 behind him. So a lot of drivers going up and setting that third fastest lap time. No one has beaten Jack's time apart from Davis, who has put it on pole. And as the session comes to an end, it is Davis in the AlphaTauri who is on pole for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Martin, his teammate, will be third. Jack lines up on the front row alongside Davis in second place. That introvert guy is fourth, and Hutton is fifth. Jeansy is sixth, and Kozlowski is seventh. Zotic eighth, Luigi Sven ninth, and Hunt is 10th fastest, rounding out your top 10 positions. And Mano and Smithy and third face not setting times in qualifying. They will round out the back of the grid, the last 3 positions. As we wait for the timer to tick down, we will have the cars on the grid and ready to go for this race in Bahrain. And before we get this race going, I'd just like to thank the sponsors here. Mode Push, obviously the biggest sponsor of them all, helps this league truly come alive, and that is what makes this league always worth watching. The other sponsors: Formula Print, Reaction Time, F1 Podcast, 60 Ionic, RCS, GFX, Racetrack Arts, Formula Rings, Lagala Motorsport, Pit Stop Prizes, Next Level Racing, High Caliber Apparel, Superfan Racing, Grid Finder, F1 Wow, and David Racing. All brilliant sponsors who bring this racing and make this tier truly feel alive. And it makes the all tiers feel alive. I meant to say all races and every event here feel alive. And you can always go check them out on the F1 Wow League Discord server, which is always free to join, and we're always looking for new members about and new drivers to challenge the old ones that have been here. And as we wait down for the timer, and 5 seconds before we will have this race underway, as the timer hits 0, we look at an empty shot of the pit lane. There are the drivers on the grid. It's Davis who will lead them off from Jack in the Red Bull. So it's a good day if you're in the Red Bull Academy program, because it's the AlphaTauris and the Red Bull and a Sol Red Bull at the front. There are the starting tyres, as we already see Valoro disqualified from the session. So everyone in the top 4 starting on the hards, Hutton on the mediums, Jeansy and Kozlowski on the hards, and that's Amerigo or Zotic on the mediums there. The Drivers' Championship standings says it will come back later. And yeah, so past Zotic, who is on the mediums, it's it's Luigi Sven on the hards. Then the 2 cars behind him of Hunt and ST Plays or Cade are on the mediums. Corcume is on the hards. High Caliber, who has been disqualified, or Valoro, who has been disqualified, he's on the mediums. So is Boss in the Ferrari, he's on the mediums as well. So is Face or Harwood, Will Harwood in the Alfa Romeo is on the hard tyres, and Smithy and Mano are on the medium compounder tyres. We are in Sakir, Bahrain, for a streak of light in the heat of the Bahrain desert night. It's round number 9 of F1 Wow League, and we're here ready to take it to the next level here, as we see Davis warming up his tyres, Jack closely in tow, ready for that run to turn 1. And who is going to be first into that braking zone? Who is going to be first down towards turn 4 is the bigger question, because whoever comes out of turn 4 in the lead has a brilliant chance to control the race. It's not almost certain. It's very close to being certain, as Martin is disqualified from the session, and the SC Players is also disqualified, or Cade is also disqualified as a lineup on the grid. Of course, the disqualified cars will already be there, as Firefly or Davis lights up the tyres, warms them up, and will pass through these two cars and lines it up onto pole position. He's got his teammate right behind him for support. Jack is going to be a big story off the line if he can get a good start. There's the Haas pulling it up into P4. The rest of the grid will form 8, and we will be, and in a few moments' time, we'll be underway here in Sakir. And it is time for another installment of this legendary league as we wait for the lights to come on. We're waiting. And waiting. As the drivers are on the grid there. There are the track conditions. It's 24 degrees Celsius, 75 degrees. As here we go for Bahrain. 5 lights are on. And we're underway in Bahrain, and it's a terrible start for Firefly off the line, who doesn't get a move at all. Jack will lead down towards turn 1. Amerigo is second in the race now as they make their way through turn 1. They go, and there's a spinner on the inside there. There's a camera angles in this game, and there Martin is off. Now, Martin was off the track in turn 1, and and there's a car spinning off, and it's Martin. Martin's in the wall, and there's chaos at the start in Bahrain. So we see another car go spinning off on the inside at turn 3. It's chaos here with the 3rd place man down the order. There's Hunt fighting with Jeezy through the middle sector there and down towards turn 8. It is chaos here as they make their way. They try and formate an order now. As you see, single file action there. Oh, there! That was Mano down the inside, was it? On the Ferrari of Boss. There's a spinner there as he gets a 5-second time penalty as they all try and just get themselves in an orderly fashion. As Sven's off the track now. Sven is off the track in turn 9, and there's another one off. That looked like Kowalski behind, going off the circuit. And there is the Red Bull of, I think that's Smithy, off the circuit as well. And there's chaos. Oh, and Mano's out of the race. Mano is out of the race. And I think he hit the wall, maybe somewhere around the track. But he's out of the race, and that may be a safety car. No, it's a virtual safety car. So the virtual safety car comes out here in Bahrain as we have a quick breather to catch ourselves, to catch our breaths here after that manic opening lap. Of course, I do apologise on my... Oh, and Smithy's out of the race as well. Smithy is out of the race as... that's Kowalski disqualified from the session. So there's absolute chaos here. Yeah, Kowalski, both Aston Martins are out of the race. But I do apologise for the camera angles down towards turn 1. This game has a funny way of working as people are leaving the session. I think there's been a huge issue here as Martin gets a penalty for ignoring yellow flags. It is chaos in Bahrain. As I think we... sorry. So the race gets back underway. I'm not sure what's going on. People are leaving all the time. And Martin is out of the race. Martin is out, so he's left. And I'm not sure what's happening here. And I think there may be a restart in order here in Bahrain. I think the session might be restarted. I'm not sure. I'm just reading through what's happening on the Discord. As the drivers race out there, it's Jack in the lead at the end of lap 2, although it may be a restart. I'm not sure. Yeah, thank you for that. There will be a restart here, as so all this racing won't count, I guess, as it all slows down now, and we'll just take a pause, I guess. We'll wait here, and well, what a chaotic opening lap that was for this race, as yeah, Well, I think, yeah, in the Discord server, there is absolute chaos going on as everyone retires out of the race. I think we could say it's a red flag period in the race, um, as there has been a game bug. As it migrates host before the race start, the AI happens to take over and there is no control. No one has any control of any of their cars, and none of this counts. So I think we can say this is a red flag period here in Bahrain for Tier 2. And we'll wait to see what happens, what will happen on the next start, which I can assume will just be the same grid order as just reading through here the chaos that has occurred. And so I think that whole start in procedure, that whole start, the entire first lap and everything, can be considered null and void, as there was nothing that happened here. As we see there, a very rare shot of the menu screen for the F1 game. You don't see that an awful lot in the F1 game, and we are going to go again here around Bahrain, and hopefully we'll have a more orderly restart to this race. And then once everything settles down, we will be underway once more for the round number 9 of this race. And, I'll just consult the calendar real quick. I have this quick briefing here. No, sorry, it is round 6. No, round 7, sorry. I must be mistaking it for something. I don't know where I got the round 9 part from. But it is round 7 of the F1 World Championship, Tier 2. And I believe once we join, I don't know what the lobby settings will be, if we'll have a formation lap, if it won't have a formation lap, if we'll have to go again, or what will happen here. So this gives everyone who is spectating, who's watching the Twitch stream, wherever you're watching in the world, you can now go out, grab a snack, or grab a drink or something. Then you come back, and then hopefully we can get this race started again.
He's going to spin back at him for you. Away into turn 1. Great
Milan drag him along a bit. Isn't
With the fence. The slide. I didn't do it.
He's going to spin back at him for you. Away into turn 1. Great
Milan drag him along a bit. Isn't
With the fence. The slide. I didn't do it.
He's going to spin back at him for you. Away into turn 1. Great
Milan drag him along a bit. Isn't
With the fence. The slide. I didn't do it.
He's in the wind.
Traffic. The slide. Continuing.
Julian.
He's going to spin back at him for you. Away into turn one. Great
Milan drag him along a bit. He's in the wind.
Traffic. The slide. Continuing.
Julian.
Yeah, so I'll just start speaking, yeah? Okay. And welcome back to F1 Tier 2. We've had a brief red flag period for the start procedure of the previous start. We tried to get this race going, but unfortunately we had a technical fault, which meant that nobody could drive their cars properly, which is why we saw people ramming into one another and unsportsmanlike behavior throughout the whole field. But I think those issues have been sorted, and we should be about to get a race underway for the restart. And I don't know if there is a formation lap or not, and there is a formation lap, so nothing has changed throughout the grid. It's the exact same grid. Is Davis ahead of Jack and Martin. Those are your top three. And then it's the introvert guy in fourth, Hutton, Jeansy, Kozlowski, and Amerigo, Sven, Hunt, KD, Corkum, Valoro, Boss, Harwood, Smith, and Mano is the last car on the grid. And the Drivers' Championship standings are interesting to say the least. We see the drivers making their way through the formation lap. It's Davis leading them around the 15 corners that we have here at Bahrain, and through the hairpin. There are your track statistics, or the current conditions. It is clear for however long we deem possible, and it is air temperature. Track temperature is 29 degrees Celsius or 48 degrees Fahrenheit, or however you pronounce it, Fahrenheit, or whatever. Air temperature is 32 degrees Celsius, 37 degrees Fahrenheit. and Firefly makes his way along the track down towards turn 11. It's the Formula One Gulf Air Bahrain Grand Prix. We are here in Sakir for a race under the lights in the here in Bahrain. I was about to say what I said earlier, but that would just sound like I'm a broken record. As they make their way down the back straight towards turn 15, the penultimate corner, Davis will back them all up, so there's no waiting on the grid. No one has been disqualified yet, so it's good stuff at the moment as we see the cars making their way through. And I've realised something. Throughout all these leagues, Bahrain always proves to be the one that always has the difficulty ramped up to the highest, and not just in terms of the drivers handling it, in terms of everything really, from red flags to all sorts. I mean, it's Bahrain where everything is happening. So as we see the cars line up on the grid, they do their rubber burnouts, and then they will line up there. That is Davis putting his car onto pole position, and Jack alongside him in the Red Bull. Luigi's Sven disqualified for probably having his car outside of the box. As the final cars line up on the grid, that's Zotic, and here comes Smithy, the final car, to put his car into a position. The Red Bull driver at the back of the field. Here we go then. It's Bahrain. It's round 7. It's time for a new addition to this insane Tier 2 championship. So you wait for the lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights on. And we're underway in Bahrain, and it's a better start off the line for Davis. It's a good start for Jack as well. Jack is going to lead down towards turn 1, and there's a spin in the back. It's the two Alfa Romeos who have collided already, and that's Valora and Harwood facing the wrong way. There's a Williams down there as well. Into turn 1 they go. Jack leads ahead of the two Alfa Tauris, and it's Zotic in second place. And behind them comes the introvert guy, Hutton, Jeansy, Kowalski, Sven, Mandikanden, Hutton, Hunt, KD, and there you can see all of them making their way down towards turn 4. The virtual safety car is out for the two Alfa Romeos, stuck on the main straight. And once again, we see a chaotic restart. And as I was saying, it's Hunt down to P11, KD P12, Boss 13th, Smith 14th, Corcume, Harwood and Valoro are the 3 cars involved in the contact. They take up the final 3 positions of 15th, 16th and 17th as the rest of the field make their way up towards turn 9 and 10 complex of corners, which catches out so many drivers. But it's down the next straight where we see the carnage, which is cars spinning around, but they'll be approaching the speed at lower speeds as the virtual safety car is out, and we will keep it up for as long as they deem mandatory before we go racing again, as Martin has a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. So that is going to really change the order as the car goes out wide in the background there. But it's Martin who is going to drop down the order, and once again Martin having a good qualifying, but then nothing coming of it in the race, having no luck at all in the race. And it's just crazy to see this man's amount of luck that he's had throughout the past couple of races. They come out the final corner. Martin will take his penalty in 2 laps, I think, as Jack crosses the line to start lap number 2. Then behind him, it's the whole slipstream fest of cars as they make their way down towards turn 1. Oh, line astern at the moment as there's a move in the back. I think that was Hutton trying to get past the Haas there, and there's a spin. I think there was a half spin for one of the McLarens, and that was Amarego. Oh, and there's almost contact as they come over the top of turn 3. Amarego's almost off the track. He is off the track pretty much. He comes back on into turn 4. The Haas and the McLaren are ahead of Jeansy, trying to go around the outside there, and that's the introvert guy getting involved with the wars with the 2 McLarens there, as we see the drivers make their way down through turn 8, the slowest hairpin, the slowest corner on the track apart from turn 1. The hairpin, as here comes the Williams up towards turn 9 and 10. Is he going to try it down the inside into turn 10? He's going to put his car there, and he's going to spin as well. However, he's going to get that back going very quickly, and Hutton drops down the order so far behind, and he's going to now fall this all the way down there. As now Kozlowski is now in P7 as the 2 Mercedes behind him in P8 and 9. Sven ahead of Cade as they make their way down towards turn 13. It was a frenetic restart as they make their way down towards the final corner, turn 15 of the circuit. Then we can see down towards turn 1 is the whole gaggle of cars that will be all wanting to go side by side. As Jack sets the fastest lap of the race, a 1:32.4. So that is far off his qualifying efforts. As the field rush their way down towards turn 1. There's Hunt in the back, trying to make his way past the two Mercedes already. And he'll be just trying to edge a position higher and maybe get past those two in front of him, and then he can set his sights on the top 5 as Kowalski makes his way through turn 4, or Kozlowski I should say, makes his way through 4, just having a little look at the McLaren of Jeansy. And there is the Aston Martin driver who has had form all throughout, and here he goes again, has launched one to the inside, or is he? Had a little look there. From the camera angle we were looking at, it looked like it was a lot closer as Mano has got past Smith for 13th place as KD. They're just behind him, side by side again. And there's a position change behind. That's Boss going ahead. Oh, and it was Hunt going off. It was Hunt going off. He may have had a spin as Boss tried to pass him on the inside. I just saw them in the left-hand side of your picture, just going wheel to wheel down towards turn 13. I think Boss got a little bit brave on the brakes and may have tipped Hutton into a spin. I saw Boss come out ahead of Hutton and assumed that they'd made the pass cleanly. I assumed wrong, as there's Mano, who is behind Hutton, and he's got Smithy in the Red Bull behind, whilst Smithy's teammate Jack leads the race by over a second now. So they make their way into the final corner there. Boss using every inch of the track to try and make up a position onto lap 3 now. As there, Martin has come into the pits to serve his drive-through for speeding under the virtual safety car. So he'll just make his way through the pit lane. He'll eagerly look at where he's going to come out. He's going to come out maybe behind Hunt. Yeah, he's going to come out behind Hunt. He'll probably come out ahead of Valoro. And back at the front, there's Boss going down a position to Hutton now, who gets ahead of him down towards turn 4. But Boss has got the DRS, he's got the slipstream, he has got the inside line, and he's almost going through there. He had a little look there on the inside, and he has a look on exit, tried the up and under, but it didn't work for Boss in the Ferrari. He'll chase down the Williams. And Jack sets another fastest lap of the race. No, Corcume, sorry, sets the fastest lap of the race at a 1:32.2. So Corcume, although he's at the back, proving he has pace. And if it wasn't for that first lap incident there on the main straight, he may be up into the points right now, as I think Bahrain is probably one of the nicest tracks, or a nicer track for Corcume. However, we pay our attention up towards the 8th place position. That is Luigi Sven in the Mercedes, just cruising behind his teammate KD, and he's just sort of willing to just sort of hang on to a points paying finish. I think that's all that Mercedes are looking for out of these two drivers. I'll be obviously looking for more, but in terms of realistic standards, well, anything can happen, so I shouldn't really say that, but anything can happen. But at the moment, they're just looking to secure their place and just keep going until the finish. But here's KD, who's trying to make a move on Kozlowski. Down towards turn 1, the Mercedes against Aston Martin. And the Mercedes is going to come out in front. KD makes the move on Kozlowski and is up to P6. And now it'll be Sven behind him, who will be the next one to challenge unless Kowalski can prove his pace behind KD. That's the move for 6th place. So yeah, if Kowalski in the Aston can prove his pace against KD, he may not go down further than he would want. It's just, well, at the moment, that's Sir Face setting the fastest lap. And another driver at the back proving their pace by setting the fastest lap of the race at 1:32.1. As we see the field making their way through turn 9, the main bunch of the field. Through turn 9 and down the long straight of DRS. The DRS will be active down the straight, down towards turn 11. And there's Sven, already on the back of Kozlowski, or Kozlowski, as they make their way up through turn 11 and into 12, the flowing left, then a right, and then down towards the right-hand turn of turn 13. For the drivers, it's very challenging to make those quick direction changes very quickly as they make their way down towards the final corner. No DRS on that straight. However, it really needs to be there as they make their way down the front straight. And this is KD on Jeansy now. So Keegan KD on Oliver Jeansy is going to try and make the pass here down towards turn 1, or at least he's going to try and catch up, at least. And he's just going to study the rear wing of the McLaren for a few laps as there's Mano at the back, behind Boss. And he's behind the Ferrari. So his race has been a little bit quiet so far. However, we've seen great racing from this guy before. And he's just going to sit behind the McLaren, and much like Tegan at the front, he's going to just study the rear wing of his competitor's car. So face, or Will Harwood, setting another fastest lap of the race, a 132.1.5159, sorry. And again, going faster down the order, and we have seen fantastic racing from Seward's Face. And there's a yellow in sector 1 and 2 that'll be up at turn 4, and I wonder what's happened in that sector of the track. It's whatever it is, it's cleared now. So that's interesting. There's a KD back up at the front, just behind Jeansy. He'll be studying his fellow rival's rear wing, and I know I sound like a broken record at this point. There's not much else I can say at the moment as they make their way down towards the braking zone of 15, and they're closing up again to the rear wing. And sector 2, there's a yellow flag out in sector 2. And you see there, McLaren darts left. Or was that the McLaren darting left? I have no idea what that was. Yeah, you see in the background there, 2 cars on the left-hand side of screen. That's Manny. That's Mano against Boss. And Boss on the outside just makes it through. Mano nearly avoids contact with Hutton there. I think what I actually saw was Zotic moving out on the introvert guy. That's the 3rd and 4th place cars. I think that's what I saw on my screen as I went down towards turn 1. So the introvert guy in the Haas, possibly closing up to the back of Zotic for the final podium place. That will show up as driver 32 on your screen and driver 88 on your screen. Just so you don't get confused with who I'm talking about. As KD through turn 6. And he's in a bit of a DRS train, I think we can say. The lead car doesn't have DRS, but the others two do. And sector 1, another yellow flag has come out in the first sector of the racetrack, and I think that's one of the back markers. Oh, and there! There's a bit of spinner, and that's Davis. Davis has spun out of turn 13. Davis has spun it, and I just saw that on the big screen there. Davis spins out of turn 13. I saw him on the exit curve. He got loose, and he just spun that into the barriers. It's lucky he don't have any damage. That was very, very close to the wall. Well, he does have damage, but not major, that it puts him out of the race. And on lap 7, Davis is out, so disaster. Well, not Davis is out, but he's got big damage, and it's going to drop him out of the points. Disaster for Alpha Tauri here, as Zotic has been passed for P2. No, the introvert guy is trying to move for P2, as we see Davis into the pit lane of the man who was in P2. Just getting his front wing changed over. There's a new set of tyres for Davis now, as he goes back out into the race. And Hutton has made the move on Luigi. Hutton has got up on Luigi, and there's a battle here. Luigi is side by side with Mano and Hutton now as they make their way through the middle sector. Mano has to close up, and now into turn 8. He's going to try it on the outside. There he goes, through on the outside on the Mercedes. That was a fantastic move from Mano. As we look, there's Robertos further back in the Ferrari, just looking to make up a position or two, as we see Mano closing up to the back of Hutton. Now he'll be looking eagerly to make the move on Cormac Hutton. So they make their way up through turn 11 into turn 12. As the driver who started this race from the back, now running up in P8. It's been a wild one here, and it's only on lap 8 of 29. They make their way down towards the final corner of the racetrack. Hutton still ahead of Mano, and you see the Mercedes closing up down the straight. We could see a 3-way fight for 7th place here. As are they going to do battle? It's DRS open for Mano. Here he goes. He's going to try it on the inside of McDum down towards turn 1. He's got the inside line, and he has got 7th place, or has he, as the Williams hangs it out around the outside. He's almost off. He almost forces him off there as they make their way down towards turn 3. And then side by side once more is Kowalski has to, no, not cross. Mano has to go inside, and here he goes. He's going to try the up and under. He spun. Mano spins it. Mano spun it around off for the exit of turn 4. Now, I apologise for the shaky commentary there, and there's a pass for P2. There's a battle for P2 going on as Zotic, Amerigo, and Paul Linskau. Paul Linsky is battling for P2 as they make their way down the back straight. There's DRS available for the Haas driver. He's going to try it, you know, into turn 11. Oh, no, he has a little look. And he's going to go a little bit deeper than he would want. And up towards turn 12. There have been some terrific scraps up and down the field, I must say. As out, goes wide. And he may get away with that, as it was only for a brief second. Now down the back straight in the slot. This lot, second down to 5th place, as it's the Mercedes of KD, who is the trainer of this car, riding on board with him as he makes his way down the front straight. He's going to see the rear wing of the McLaren close up very quickly. The Amerigo closes the inside. He's going to have to go on the outside, and he does so. He's going to pull through on the outside. Is he brave enough on the brakes? Yes, he is, but can Amerigo challenge him on the inside? It's very, very close between the two of them there, as now Jeansy is trying to have a little look on his teammate now as they make their way down towards turn 4. It's all of them in the slipstream now of Paul Linsky as Amerigo doesn't go for the inside move. And is he going to let his teammate buy through on this lap? And Jeansy closes up to the back of him, but Amerigo closes up even further to the Haas driver as they make their way down towards turn 8. Oh, he's going to try on the inside. There's contact between the two of them. And it's nearly contact on a bit corner, and the two McLarens get a bit touchy there, as I think there was a bit of contact between Jeansy and Amerigo, and that sent Amerigo almost round, but he was able to collect it. And now down the back straight, will now be the Haas, who will be under pressure from the two McLarens now, as the two McLarens have DRS on each other, and KD is just sitting back here saying, no, you two fight and I'll just pick up the scraps. Or so we hope, as they come out towards turn 13. However, the two McLarens, they may do battle once more, and they may lose out to the Haas driver down this back straight if they continue to battle, of course. And it's Amarillo behind his teammate Jeansy, as Jeansy makes his way through the final corner. McLaren driver in 3rd position. However, how much longer is he going to be in 3rd position for? Because it might be a promotion to 2nd position as the DRS is open for Polinsky, and he makes his way down towards turn 1. He's right behind the Haas, as the Haas goes a little bit defensive into turn 1, but Jeansy tries the outside, fancies a look on the outside, and now up to turn 3, and up the hill they go. Up towards turn 4, he's right on the back of him, but he's not going to make the move, so I think he may be playing a bit of a long game here with the introverted guy, or Polinsky, as he's being shown on your screen. So I think there may be a bit of tactics going on here, as he doesn't want to get past him, and he doesn't want to take too much life out of his tyres, as that is common for happening here in Bahrain. There's a great aerial shot there over the hairpin and down towards turn 10. But yeah, it might just be him playing the long game, and he doesn't want to take too much life out of his tyres, as his teammate goes deep. Amerigo going deep and has to rejoin onto the track. Going to leave him vulnerable to the Merc behind. And behind you see the rest of the drivers making their way out of turn 10. However, the leading lot make their way up, and Jack 9 seconds in the lead ahead of this leading pair, or this pair of cars, and make their way down the back straight now as the cars close up to one another. As there's Smithy, Jack's teammate, in the mid pack. He's ghosted at the moment, as Jack, speak of the devil, he's just put in the fastest lap of the race, a 1:31.6. He's the first driver to break into the 1:31s. As we go back to the battle for 2nd, and between Polinsky and Jeansy boy, Jeansy closes up into turn 1. He's going to try for the move here, down towards turn 1. He's on the inside, and he's going to try and get 2nd place, but Polinsky's going to risk it out through turn 2. He's side by side with the McLaren now, up through 3 they go, and Jeansy just has to pull in behind him, down towards turn 4. Will he try for the move? No, he's not going to look for the manoeuvre through 4. It would be a bit audacious to try for the move in this sector of the racetrack, as there's a yellow in sector 1. So I think someone's had a spin further around the lap, or a little bit behind these. Not, as we see the cars coming into turn 8 and accelerate up towards turn 9 and 10. the pair of cars are allowing the other drivers to catch up. So the close car behind them is Kowalski, or Kozlowski, who is behind them in 6th place. He's a couple of tenths down the road. He's 2 seconds down the road, I should say, as the field make their way up through turn 11 and 12. And they out wide again. It's the audacious lines that win races. And it's being creative with your racing lines that is going to win races. And you can see that here with Paulinski, who is trying his very, very best to just try and get those extra couple of tenths, but it's not worked as Jeansy closes up for the final corner. And he will have DRS this lap. DRS is active. The overtake will be active probably as now he makes his way down towards turn 1. He's going to go on the inside. Here he goes through onto the inside, and he's surely going to have that one. He can't rest that out on the outside, Paulinski. Well, he might lose out, and he does lose out on 2nd place. So Jeansy up to 3rd. And you saw there at the top of your picture, Hutton had a 5-second time penalty for an undisclosed incident. And they make their way through turns 4 as we see Hutton in the pits. So Hutton is in as we see moves all over the place. Down there as Hunt is in the pit lane as well. And out into the racetrack goes Hutton and Hunt. And those two drivers will make their way out as they're on their original plans, as there have been no extra safety cars as they're out wide. That's KD in the in 5th place there in the Williams. No, not in the Williams, sorry. In the Mercedes. Making their way up towards turn 11 now. Up through 12. They will go, and the fast direction change comes at you quickly, and it's easy to spin at the top of the hill as they make their way through 13, a tricky braking zone that's always eager to catch you out if you're too late on the brakes, if you're too brave. Down towards the final corner on the racetrack. No DRS down that straight, but there will be DRS down this next straight here as the McLaren will close up to the back of him. He'll be eager to pass him. Amarego and Pulowski and Paulinskowski make their way down towards someone, but the Haas is closed up on Jeansy. Is the Haas going to go up the inside? He's going to have a little look, and he's going to go almost fully move here, but he's going to lose out maybe to Amarego, who tries the up and under as Kowalski and Boss enter the pits. DRS is active down this straight for these 4 cars, this gaggle of cars. They're just trying to make the best of what they've got, and KD just looking behind them, just waiting for the battles to commence as Amarego really closing up on Paulinski as now they make their way down towards turn 8. Amarego not feeling audacious with the moves to the inside of 8. Now out up towards turn 9 and 10. Gonna keep it safe and steady behind as Mano has also entered the pit lane as well. And down the straight down towards turn 11. The DRS is active for Amarego. Through 11. They don't make any serious moves yet, but there's a tighter line on for, or a wider line I should say, for the Haas ahead, who is being creative through this part of the racetrack. They make their way out and over the white linings there, almost going over the track, but just enough there, as you see, very close to going outside of the track limits. And KD's entering the pits. KD is the first car in this pack to blink. So he's the first one who's coming into the pits. As we see KD off the mediums onto the hard compound of tyre. And he's out of the pit lane. 2.2 second stop for KD. So it must have been good turn-in time, as Mark would say on the F1 game. And there's Martin, who has had a quiet race after that drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. He's up to 6th place at the moment, and I have a feeling he hasn't pitted. But he's been a bit of a dark horse this race. The AlphaTauris have been a bit dark with this race, and not showing what they can do at the front and challenging Jack all the while. It may be a bit late for that, as here's Davis and Harwood. Harwood's going to try it on Davis up the inside into turn 4. The Alfa Romeo has the DRS, and he almost has 8th place as they make their way through 4. Oh, Harwood spins it, almost spins it, catches it there. So on the exit of turn 4, drivers getting caught out with the acceleration of their cars. They're just underestimating it. as they were side by side. Harwood was trying the underneath, was trying to go underneath him, essentially, and it didn't really work out. But he now learns for next time he tries to attack another driver, that braking zone. He needs to be careful coming out of that corner. As we see back up at the front, there's 4th place Amarego in the McLaren. He is now coming into the pits. It's perfect timing to see Amarego into the pits. Oh no, sorry, it's Jeansy. Jeansy is into the pits. Sorry, I apologise for that. Jeansy is in, so the McLaren crew will get to work on his car. Also got to serve the time penalty first. Why not seeing any movement? And there he goes. So now he is free, and Martin's come in as well. So Martin is in as well. You see the AlphaTauri just entering the top of your picture there. And into the pits he comes, and how long of a stop is it going to be for Martin? It's 4 seconds. As they replace the front wing, it's going to drop him down the order further than he would have wanted. 7.4 second stop for Martin. And he goes out, back into the race. And makes his way down towards turn number 1. He's down in 12th place there, as Jeansy has just been passed by Davis for 6th place. So Jeansy down 7th place. So that possibly not a good showing from the McLaren there, as he's already been passed by a car that hasn't pitted yet, which just shows the pace of that AlphaTauri, which is just insane, as they were on pole and 3rd. They had a 1 and 3 in qualifying. However, they haven't turned that into anything during the race. And it has really left Jack out there, the championship leader, Jack, out there to score some huge points. And you see the lap tyre, how many laps they've done on that tyre. You can see the top 3, all 16 lap hards. All the top 4, 16 lap old hards. And Harwood 14 lap old mediums, and Villoro 15 lap mediums, old mediums. So they make their way final turn 4. Jeansy can't have many times I said turn during that one turn. Down the front straight, sorry. And the other in sector 3, Martin's dropped down behind Hunt. As here comes Jeansy on the back of Davis. Here he goes on the inside of the AlphaTauri, and he's got that move absolutely sorted. Can Davis try and go around him through turn 2 and 3? Now down the back straight. DRS will be active for Davis as he tries down the inside. He's going to draw level with the McLaren, and he's going to try and go through, and he's got the position absolutely done. And he has that move guaranteed, signed, sealed, delivered for Davis. Up to 6th place goes the AlphaTauri. Jeansy will just try and close into the back of him now, as they make their way up and out of turn now in 9 and 10, and Jeansy will close in through this straight now with the DRS active. And they make their way down towards turn 11, and Davis, he's come up through the order, but he's still got to pit, if I think so. I think he may still have to pit in this race. As we see, Amarego has come into the pits, Villoro is on pit exit, and also the Haas in 3rd place, Paul Linsky, is also into the pit lane. As Amarego, 2-second stop for him, and Pawlowski 2-second stop for him as well, as they come out into the race. There's KD, he'll be looking to get in front of these two, and I don't think he's going to do so. And the camera angle glitches the hell out, and Jeansy Boy has passed Davis for 6th place once more, and you can just see that move in the background there as they make their way down and up the hill towards turn 4 now. And you can see there Amarego weaving his tyres to try and get temperature back into them, and all that battling for Jeansy has meant that he has lost out to KD, so he's behind KD on the restart. Not on the restart here, sorry. He's behind KD after the pit stop shuffle has played into effect. It hasn't played out for Jeansy, and he's down the order, P6 compared to what should be P5 for him. So it's only a position, but one position could be the difference between winning the championship and losing the championship. As they make their way through 10 and down the back straight, and you can see that's behind them. That's Harwood, third face there in the background, closing in on Davis. And the Alfa Romeo driver, who had a very sad start to the race. Here goes KD in a part of the racetrack you don't usually see moves. Wow. KD was all over the back of Amarego there. I was talking about So's face. KD just snuck up on him and just almost had the move done from turn 12. That would have been extraordinary. But can he make the pass down towards turn 15? He can't make the pass, but he'll have the DRS down this front straight here. And he's going to see the rear wing of the McLaren get bigger and bigger as the DRS is active for KD. He's closing in on Amarego. And behind, Jeansy Boy closing into the back of him, and Jeansy Boy laying on the brakes. Can he get past both of them? Yes, he can. Here he goes. He's going to try on the outside. KD got past his teammate Amarego, and Jeansy Boy said thank you very much. He's just earned 2 places there completely off of those two fighting through turn 1. That was a fantastic move from Jeansy there as they make their way through the middle sector of the racetrack. That was fantastic. I saw Jeansy getting late on the brakes, and I thought he was going to go wide. And KD just went up the inside of Amarego, tried the pass, but he got the pass done. But then Jeansy Boy just went sweeping through and took 2 positions, and he has just made one of the best moves I've seen. You don't usually see many moves at turn 2 in Bahrain, but Jeansy has proved it is possible to overtake as yellows in sector 2. That's a very slow moving Cormac Hutton in the Williams. And he makes his way down towards turn 9 and 10. I wonder if he's had a spin coming out turn 8. As we continue on in this race. No safety cars yet. Now, if we have our virtual safety cars, Luigi Sven is in. From second place, the Mercedes driver is into the pits. And with 10 laps to go here, this race is starting to hot up as Sven is out onto the pit lane. And he will be waiting as that introvert guy, Paulinski, sets the fastest lap of the race. Hubert Paulinski sets the fastest lap, and Martin is out. Martin's out of the race in sector 1. What has happened to Martin? And there's a virtual safety car out on the track. So the man who was 4th in championship, he was on 3rd here. He was on the 2nd row of the grid. Is out of the race. I just noticed that as Sven came out of the pit. Oh no, that's going to be a disaster, Sven, because he's behind. Davis now, and everyone who missed the pit entry is going to suffer. So essentially, Hutton and everyone else who's behind Hutton gets a free pit stop with Smithy there into the pits. So with 10 laps to go, this race hots up once more as Martin is out of the race. So that is crazy stuff as Mano and Hunt have not pitted back there down the order in the out of the points territory. So they make their way down towards turn 10 there. And there you can see the cars coming out of the pit lane. They'll be on new tyres. They'll be hunting each other down and hopefully not tripping over one another later on in this race. But as we continue, there into the pits is Jack. So he gets essentially a free pit stop under the VSC. And it could play to Jack's hands as the VSC ends about now. But he would have lost a bit of the lead, but not too much. He's got 41 seconds over the nearest car behind him, which is the 2nd place pass of Paul Linsky, who has the fastest lap of the race. So I think Jack was bolted on certain mediums. And so with face, Harwood has suffered Martin's fate, and he has got a drive-through penalty, driving too fast under the VSC. And the safety car, or virtual safety car, has ended, and that's played perfectly into Jack's hands. He's lost the minimal amount of time possible, and he comes through. And there in the back you can see Davis already trying the move on Amarego. He's already got that move done down towards turn 1. However, Amarego's going to come back on the inside. Oh, they almost touched there as they make their way through turn 2. Davis clear as day ahead of Amarego, but can Amarego fight back down towards turn 4 as that's KD, the driver ahead of Davis through 4. And a nice aerial shot as they make their way, wind their way through that little S bend in the middle sector. And there's Davis at the bottom of the picture being chased all the way by Amarego. As you see, they make their way out of turn 8. They put the power down and they get a move on down towards turn 10. Late braking here and through accelerating early. They can open up the DRS and make their way closer to the back of their competitor's car. In this instance, it is ST Plays or KD. Closer to the back of Jeansy Boy in the McLaren, who is on for a podium here. So McLaren looking strong here in the late stages as KD not exactly closing in. As you see, Harwood has made up a position on Hunt, who is ghosted. He may have had a moment, as we saw a yellow flag being waved on the racetrack. Back up at 4th, KD 4th, and Jeansy Boy 3rd. And yellow in sector 2 now. As that's a very slow moving Alfa Romeo. That's Harwood moving very slowly in the number. I don't know. Yeah, he was in 11th place. He's out of the points, and Amarego's made the move. Sven's made the move on Amarego. Amarego's dropped down the order behind Davis. I think he was trying to make the move on Davis, and he's just dropped now behind. As here goes Sven on the inside of Davis. He tried the little look there, but I think Amarego may have tried a move on Sven, or no, sorry, Davis, and lost out to Sven, who is now right behind Davis. So now Sven can now panic. Davis is very, very close. Through turn 8, that's insanely close. It's very, very close to the back of him. As once again, Polinsky setting the fastest lap of the race as they make their way down into turn 10. They're all very, very squirrely on exit for Sven in the Mercedes. But Davis defending now. We're not going to see a move up towards turn 11, are we? It's F1. Wow, of course that means yes, and Sven's on the inside of his rival there, and it's very, very close between the two of them through turn 11 up through 12. He's got the slipstream. Can he go on the inside? He's going to try, you know, he's going to have a look, but it's not going to succeed into anything. He's going to have to wait until turn 1 is his best opportunity if he doesn't want to get overtaken on the main straight, but he's lost out to Davis, and Amerigo behind him has closed in as Jack set the fastest lap of the race, and there was a move further back in the order, but we're paying more attention to this bound now. DRS is active for both drivers behind Davis. Can Davis hold them off down towards turn 1? There's no defence from Davis. Here goes Sven on the inside in the Mercedes. He's got the move done on the brakes, but can Davis hang it out around the outside? And he's almost there alongside him, but now up towards turn 4 he goes. Davis will be desperate to try and get back past him, but he's not going to want to lose out to Jeansy Boy, who's behind him. Down towards turn 4 now. It's there's no moves on because Davis lost out through that little sector there. As now they make their way through the wiggly bit of the track down towards turn 8 now. Sven having go. Oh no, that's Mano. It's Mano Manicandon, and he has spun on the exit of turn 11, and Harwood is into the pits with a puncture. Harwood has got a puncture, and he's in, and that's the worn tyres off. So I think he wore those tyres out to the point when they blistered and punctured. So interesting for Harwood there. I wonder if that's why we saw him slowing down dramatically in those sectors, as the leaders lap, almost lapping Mano. As we look further down the order, that's Paulinski. What was Paulinski doing? He slowed very suddenly there, as I saw Mano going into the pits behind him. I don't know what Paulinski was doing there. He slowed massively off the corner. And let's not talk about Mano for now. At the moment, as Mano's retired from the session, that is great. I saw him stuck there on the entry of the pit lane, so I wonder if he had a little moment or two. And unfortunately, that has led to his retirement. So there's only 2 retirements here, as Valoro has been passed by Smith, and Valoro is dropping down the order because he's off the track. That's why. He's dropped down behind Corcume and Smith. So I wonder why that is, and I think he may have some kind of issue now, as he's dropped behind his teammate Harwood, and he's about to get lapped by the race leader Jack. So here goes Jack on the attack now. I don't know what has happened to Valoro. I wonder if he has a spin or something. I can't see any problems with the outside of the car. He may have a rear puncture, but I doubt he'd be that quick in a straight line if he did. And now Jack will lap him very soon as the blue flags wave. And now he'll just go straight through him as a ghost. 5 laps remaining. Sponsored by Mode Push as they make their way down towards turn 1. That's Jack in the lead, who has had a very quiet race, it could be said. And after the 2 AlphaTauris were disposed of, with Davis spinning out of the race and Martin getting a penalty and later on retiring from the race, It's been a fairly standard Sunday drive for Jack as he makes his way through 4 and now back onto the main straight. You see the other cars down there. That's Davis. That's the two Mercedes and Davis down there, 4th, 5th, 6th, and Amerigo falling behind in 7th place. And let's see, there's Davis closing in behind. That's Luigi closing the slipstream, or breaking the slipstream, I should say, behind. But KD, ST players, Tegan KD has had a bit of a quiet, well, he hasn't really had a bit of a quiet race. He's sort of sat behind the battling pair, and when he needed to, he's made his moves. He's got himself up to 5th place at the moment, which is a good place to be, but he loves to be a position higher and be on that podium. I think it'd be a first for ST place, if I'm not mistaken, this season. Not sure, someone might want to fact check me on that, as there's Davis down the order. He was looking to make a move on Luigi Sven, as Smithy has dropped down to the back of the field. And he's left the session, so I think we've had a disconnection there. As computer says no for Smithy, and they continue out in front. That's Sven being chased down by Davis. As they make their way into the final corner, that's the Mercedes chasing down, or being chased down by the AlphaTauri behind. And there's the leading Mercedes in 4th place there of this little pack of cars. It's KD, Sven, Davis, and Alvarego, and a little bit further back, a long way back actually, you'll see the Aston Martin of Kozlowski. And up towards turn 3, up the hill, and a straight line run now. There's the Bahrain Tower behind. They make their way down towards turn 4. They close up once more, but not a lot happens after they close up. It's sort of like they close up, and then there's an invisible wall that holds them back from passing the other car in front. I don't know if that's just a dirty air. These new regulations are meant to stop that. But that's real life, not a video game. What do I know? As there is closing up. That's Amerigo on the back of. Oh, and there's a tap there, and he's going to go deep there. Oh, and he's spun it. He's almost spun it. Sorry, Davis getting a tap from Amerigo. And he's had a tap there, and he almost spun it as he tried to rejoin the racetrack. So I wonder if Amerigo will be reprimanded for that. No, Davis will be reprimanded for that, sorry. But Davis had a little bump there. Oh, and Davis has spun it. Davis has spun it in 7th. Davis has spun it round at turn 11. And he's dropped down behind Kowalski. And he gets it going quite quickly, but gets it pointed. And he might lose out to Robertos now. And he's going to try his best not to. About Robertos, he's going to be there. They're both ghosted. So they don't have to worry about track position. But now they do, because Davis is now a real entity. As now they make their way down towards turn 15. Boss is alongside him. He's going to try it. You don't see many moves into turn 15. But Boss has got it done. And what happened? He disappeared. Where's he gone? He's ahead of him. Boss is ahead of him. And Firefly, or Davis, is into the pits, sorry. Beach pronunciation, not my best, as Davis comes into the pits on very worn tyres, I should say. The number 19 AlphaTauri makes his way in and out very quickly as they continue to battle. There are the two Mercedes, 4th and 5th, Sven and KD, and they're just trailing one another essentially up towards turn 9 and 10. As KD, I wonder if team orders may come into effect here. I doubt they will, because we don't see many manoeuvres or team moves. As so the face has just been lapped by Jack. Just seen that, as Jack is into the pits, and so face is also into the pits. So Jack comes in. I wonder why he's come in. I think that may be just to try and get fastest lap of the race, with only 2 laps to go here. But would he lose out to the driver behind him of Paulinski? Only time could tell. As Jack comes out into the race, there are the two Mercedes out the final corner. They'll be able to see Jack in front of him, as now, yes, he has. He's given up the lead. So into turn 1. Oh, it was their contact there, as Jack has lost the lead to Paulinski. Paulinski finds himself in the lead, but Jack is on the softer compound. Don't go anywhere, because there's a fight for the lead on here. Paulinski, I think that was an error by Jack. A miscalculation, maybe. So has he just given up the race win to Polinsky? This Bahrain race takes another wild turn. Jack has only got a lap or so to pass him as they make their way through as there's a yellow flag in sector 2 of the track. However, it's all clear now as yeah, I wonder what's going to happen now because Jack has given up the lead here to Polinsky ahead. Is Polinsky going to win the race? With 1 lap to go, he's only going to survive for 1 lap. So he has got to be the widest Haas Formula 1 car you've ever seen. And all he has to do is win the race on debut as well, in the championship, on debut, I think on debut. No, we may have seen him before. But Jack down towards the final corner. He's not going to make the move here. He'll be smart about this. He'll use it on the main straight where he knows Polinsky can't fight back. However, he can fight back up towards turn 4, so he may have a battle here as they cross the line. 1 lap to go, sponsored by Mode Push. Here comes Jack to the outside, and he's passed him immediately for the lead. Polinsky's not going to want to give this one up, but Jack's got the DRS. Polinsky hasn't. Down into turn 1. I think Polinsky may have a second dose of DRS. He might have a second bite of the cherry, unless that is it for Polinsky. Up towards, no, Polinsky does, but he's closed there behind. He's not going to do it, though. And Jack has firmly put himself up ahead. So I think a bit of doubt crept into Jack's mind there, whether he could actually pass him or not. But he has proven that he can. And down towards turn 8, Jack leads the race around the final few corners. So there's the Mercedes. Well, he's got a long way of the lap to go. We shouldn't say the final few corners. Anything can happen. There are the Mercedes cars. Through the turn 8 hairpin. Down towards turn 9 and 10. As we see the two Mercedes KD, Sven down the back straight. They will not fight with one another as they'll play it sensible. Blue flags are being waved. For who? As we check back in with the race leader, Jack, down the final corner. Down towards the final corner, I should say. It has been a walk in the park for Jack. Ever since the 2 AlphaTauris were disposed of through bad luck, he has been the one to stop today. He has been the unmovable force, and he will come across the line to win the Bahrain Grand Prix. It's Jack who is a winner, and he does set the fastest lap of the race, a 1:29.0. I doubt anyone can beat it. And behind, Polinsky gets P2 on debut for Haas, I think. And Jeansy Boy finishes out the podium with P3. Sven and KD come on P4 and 5. And P6 for Amarego. P7, Kowalski. There's Boss in P8. He'll come across the line. P9, Hunt has 1 corner to go. Liam Hunt in the Haas will be delighted for his teammate who gets a podium on as he makes his way across the line. Hunt will be P9. And behind him will be Firefly. Or Davis is better known. He will be gutted with himself with that spin at turn 11 and that spin early on. He could have won the race, but didn't. He's the final points position finisher. And the final 2 cars to cross the line will be the 2 Williams, as the 3 cars behind the Williams were lapped. Sir's Faces finished the race in 13th, High Caliber 14th, Smithy is 15th. Here comes Han making his way through down towards the last corner. And he will cross the line 11th. Corkum will cross the line 12th. There's not really a lot that I can say there, but congratulations, Jack. He has taken another win here. He won in Austria. He's a winner in Bahrain. What more can this man do? He extends his lead in the championship once more as he finishes the race P1. There's no much higher you can get than that. Red Bull will be delighted as Luigi Sven gets driver of the day. And they make their way around the last corner to line up back in the pits. And out onto the podium they will come. Jack, a victory for Jack. He extends his lead in the top of the standings now with 25 points added to his 100 points, 120 points. There he is, the man of the moment. Jack walks out onto the podium and will be celebrating with the other 2 drivers up there of Jeansy and Polinsky. As he lines it on the top step of the podium, his trophy is handed to him. He can truly celebrate that one. That was hard earned, as it was a harsh steam, as driving a Formula 1 car is hard. but the bubbly stuff is sprayed, or the rose water is sprayed for Jack here today, who is a winner in F1 WoW. And he extends his lead in the championship by 26 points actually, because he got the fastest lap. Polinsky will be delighted with P2 in a Haas, and Jeansy Boy has to be happy with that P3 finish. He's been up there all season. It was only a matter of time before he got a podium, and he's finally done it. As the rest of the field, it is Jeansy P3, Luigi P4, SC Plays P5, Zotic P6, Ironlol 7th, Robertos 8th, PSC 9th, Firefly rounds out the top 10, McDum P11, Corcume P12, Silver Face P13, High Caliber P14, and the DNF's Smithy is counted as a finisher with 90% of the race travelled in 15th, and DNFs are Mano and Martin, who will be bitterly disappointed with himself after that performance. He has to do better next time out, and we will see you next time out for this fantastic F1 WoW Championship. Join us in a week's time where we will be racing. We'll be racing once more at a fantastic race circuit. It's a sprint race in Imola. See you then.